Mercedes has shared some of their plans for next year, and these plans are not just about making their car better but also about which drivers will race for them, and trust me, the driver Mercedes wants to get to replace Lewis Hamilton will definitely surprise you, but we think he'll be able to win championships at Mercedes if he joins them, so make sure to watch the whole video to find out who will be driving for Mercedes in the future. Before we start, we're looking at Mercedes' last race of the season and their future car plans music. So now we're going to look at how Mercedes got slower from São Paulo when George Russell won their only victory of the season to Abu Dhabi, where Russell finished 5th and Hamilton didn't finish. The last race of the season in Abu Dhabi, Mercedes' recent comeback was stopped short. They were clearly the third fastest team around the Yas Marina track just 7 days after their 1-2 finish in Brazil. The W13's speed changed a lot after their big floor and wing changes in Austin, along with a new wing and some big weight cuts, but those were at tracks like Austin, Mexico City and São Paulo that didn't really punish drivers who had more drag. Low drag is a really important part of being fast in Abu Dhabi because of the long straight parts of Sector 1 and the straight sections between turns 5 and 9. The W13 is clearly a much draggier car than the Red Bull, as seen by how it performed all season. That hurts way more in Abu Dhabi than it did at the 3 previous track layouts. This affected the team's race plans, as trackside engineering chief Andrew Chauvelin explained. Looking at the FP3 times, we decided we'd probably have 2 Red Bulls ahead of us no matter what we did. We weren't expecting to be so far behind the Ferraris. That was a bit disappointing, but the fact we knew we'd have the Red Bulls ahead meant we didn't make any decisions based around qualifying. Everything was for the race in the practice sessions. George Russell and Lewis Hamilton both tried a rear wing with a lower flat angle, which made their straight line speed better compared to the low-winged Ferrari and Red Bull, but made them slower overall because of the oversteer in the final sector's sharper corners. Mercedes decided to use the bigger wing to help protect the tires because they expected to finish behind Red Bull in qualifying, and the race looked like it could be either a 1-stop or a 2-stop, even though this made their car less competitive wheel-to-wheel because of its weakness at the end of the straights. The layout of the Yas Marina track also gave another challenge which likely hurt Mercedes more than the others. Even over a qualifying lap, some tire care is needed here. The rear tires will usually become too hot for the turns in Sector 3 if the grip from the long quick sweeps of Sector 1 is fully used, making things even harder. It is tough to warm up the front tires at the start of the lap without overheating the rears. This is a particular challenge for Mercedes W13 since it needs an aggressive outlap to warm up the front tires. This is a downside of the car's good feature of not overtaxing its front tires. Throughout a race, the brake ducting setups inside the wheel account for a large part of the heat management of the front tires. We recently talked about how smart the Mercedes is in another video on our channel, check it out here, but the brake cooling setups used in Abu Dhabi and Mexico's thin air can be told apart from one another. We don't seem to change the ducting as much as some say. Chauvelin, generally we're trying to keep the rubber on the cooler side as that allows it to last a bit longer and keeps the pressures from rising too high. Others are trying to put more temperature in than we are. Heat is moved into the rims and tires more when the brake cooling is increased. The brake cooling in Mexico had to be given top priority because it is barely used there, so keeping the front tires cool had to be given less priority. There, however, around Abu Dhabi it was once again given top priority as a key part of the car's good tire use during the race. It showed how much Mercedes' decisions were based on race day performance rather than qualifying, like how it did with the wing choice, thus leaving Mercedes with a poor performance in the last race of the season following a tough race for the team. Toto Wolff admits that Mercedes had expected more from their car in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton's forced retirement in the closing laps of the Grand Prix was the Silver Arrow's first mechanical problem of the year, while George Russell finished the race in 5th place. The team's pace issues and tire wear, according to Wolff, were not something they had fully expected. I think we pushed very hard at the beginning. Wolff told media it looked like in the first few laps that we had real pace. We were expecting it to get stable, but it didn't on the hard tire. We were pretty much with Lewis on the same path like all the other teams, but we expected more from the car in terms of tire wear that we actually had, according to Wolff. Mercedes will look into the matter further in order to figure out why it happened. It's something that we need to study because we gave up lap time in qualifying in order to be quick in the race, and that didn't happen. The team boss explained the Silver Arrows were unable to challenge Ferrari for 2nd place in the team championship because of their performance in Abu Dhabi, which came just 1 week after their 1-2 win in Brazil. Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz finished the season in 2nd and 4th place respectively, earning the team 554 points overall and a 39-point lead over Mercedes in 3rd, and thus, after a disappointing Abu Dhabi Grand Prix close to Formula One season, Toto Wolff called 2022 a character-building year for Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton's streak of 15 seasons with at least 1 race win came to an end as Mercedes only managed to win 1 race thanks to George Russell in Brazil, the W13 machine battles being too draggy as well as bouncing and a main floor issue Mercedes were third in the team standings, the lowest placing since 6th in 2012, and Wolff was eager to apply the lessons from the year to the next season. First of all, we're going to put these cars in reception at Brackley and Brixworth to remind us every single day how difficult it can be. Wolff explained to media this is a character-building season, not a blip for the race but for the full season. But we kept pushing so hard, the engine came along really well, and I'm proud what we achieved there on the chassis side. There were bad moments, then good ones, but the good ones were amazing. Like a week ago in Brazil, it made us feel how good it can be, and now we're just pushing forward to the next year. It's bad and it's okay to feel like this, but next year we are back. Russell finished the race in 5th place, 35.8 seconds behind race winner Max Verstappen, as Hamilton retired due to hydraulic problem at the Yas Marina track in the final laps. The Grand Prix, in Wolff's opinion, showed Mercedes' problematic campaign that was really not good. All the mistakes you can make on the car was there, he explained. One breaking down and the other running out of tires is a perfect summary of the season. We cooked the tires in the first few laps when we attacked. We knew that Abu Dhabi was going to be difficult one for the car, so at least the match was good. Brazil was just amazing, dominating from the beginning to the end, and at least we will tick a box with a race win. And so Mercedes will now focus on 2023 and beyond, and they have a lot to figure out. For starters, they'll have to get their 2023 car up to speed if they want to fight for championships. Next year, next to this, Mercedes will run into the fact that Lewis Hamilton will possibly retire in the next couple of years, meaning they'll have to find someone to fill that spot, and now none other than Charles Leclerc is rumored to fill that spot from the 2024 season. As Charles Leclerc is not completely saying no to a possible move to Mercedes, the Ferrari driver was asked about the rumors about his future in an interview, and while he's not yet made any firm plans to leave Ferrari, he did not want to completely say no to anything either. Leclerc is also asked about his future throughout the interview. When Lewis Hamilton hangs up his racing helmet, it's rumored in the paddock that Mercedes would prefer to have Charles Leclerc. Hamilton's contract ends in 2024 and Leclerc's is still good until 2024. Leclerc was hesitant to answer that question with a firm response just yet. There is still a long way to go until 2024, and some more time left as a soldier in the ranks of Ferrari. Being in this team has been my dream since I was a kid. My goal for now is to win with Ferrari. After that we'll see. But Charles Leclerc is not the only driver on the radar, as Mick Schumacher seems to become Mercedes' 2023 backup driver. Who would you like to see end up at Mercedes, and will they be able to fight for the championship again next year? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching.